Hi, all. Hope you all are doing good. So as you have seen in the last few videos, we have seen one easy example and one medium example from LeetCode, right? So in this one, we'll be seeing a little harder than what we have done. So this is going to be categorized in hard um, as a part of this LeetCode programs, right? That we get. So now let's try to understand what we're trying to do as a part of this program, right? So basically we have two data sets that is given. There is one is employee, the other one is a department. We have two data sets. One is employee, the other one is department. And we are trying to get department's top three salaries. And this is the output that is being expected that we should get it, right? So department wise, top three salaries that we will be getting, right? So this is what the output is expected. Now try to understand what is exactly the question. A company's executive are interested in seeing who earns the most money in each of the company's department, right? Then a higher earn in a department is an employee who has a salary in the top three unique salaries, right? Here is the catch, right? Top three unique salaries for that department. Top three, if you see in IT, right? These are all top three unique salaries. You see, otherwise, if it is unique is not mentioned here, right? We could have gone either one of this, right? So either Joe or Randy, right? Because both of them has the same salary, right? So we are just trying to get the salary in the top three unique salaries for that department. For that department, unique salary, top three unique salary that we are trying to get. But here in sales department, as we have only two employees, right? We are just getting two values for that, right? So hope you understand what I'm trying to achieve here in this program, right? But in the output, let's try to understand like Max has the maximum salary in that IT department. Joe and Randy has the second highest salary in IT department, and Will has the third highest salary in the IT department. Similarly, Henry has the highest salary in sales department, and the second highest salary, Sam has the second highest salary in the sales department. So this is how we are expecting to get the output in this way, right? So now how will we solving this problem, right? So let's try to go to practical and we'll try to understand, right? So let's go here. Okay, let's try to see. Okay, let's try to find that same questions, right? So it's 185, right? 185. Let's go here. 185, right? So it's a medium, right? Let's open this question. So basically, we're trying to solve this problem, right? Okay, this is the same question that I've taken it here. So this problem we'll be trying to solve, right? So now let's go to the program that we have already written. So what we'll be trying to do here is like let's try to uh, understand what we're trying to do here. So similarly, as usual, right? So we are trying to set up the data that is being asked in the question, right? Here, in the first phase, we'll be trying to set up the data, right? And in the second phase, we will be trying to solve the problem using Spark SQL style, right? We'll be writing the Spark SQL code to solve the problem. And finally, in the third phase, we'll be trying to see how we can write the same code using DataFrame API style, right? So let's start this one, right? So let's go whether see whether we have this one is open. Yeah, it is already open. It's already set. So now let's add here. I'll just copy paste to set up the data first. Will not spend much time on setting up the data. Going forward, I'll not be mentioning mostly these comments because once you used to this one, right, it is not needed and it is keeping space for us, right? So unnecessarily, though even though the program is small, it looks big, right? Because of this comments and all, we'll be removing them going forward slowly. Right, so now what we're trying to do here is we're trying to solve this problem where department top three salaries, unique salaries that we are trying to see, right? So now here we are trying to get all those imports from PySpark library just to define the data frame schema and perform the data frame operations, right? So here is the data that is exactly that we have taken employee data that is given in the question, the same data that we have taken as the employee data. Similarly, we have taken the department's data, right? And here we are defining the schema for employee schema. We are defining based on the data type that we have taken. And similarly, we are defining the schema for the department's data, right? Then we are creating a data frame out of it based on the employee data and schema. Similarly, department's data and schema. We are just, you see, based on that, we are creating the two data frames, right? I'm not discussing all this in details now, since we are already used to it. So then we are going to create few temporary views where we can will be able to query these tables directly in a SQL style, right? So we have created these two tables. So now let's display those two tables and see. With this, the questions set of data will be given, right? So as you can see here, our data is as similar as that in the question. Now our base data is set up to start doing the problem, right? So let me just take it to a notepad so it will be clearly visible there, so that we'll be comparing. So let me open a new notepad. I'm just taking it here, right? So now what we'll be doing, the second phase, right, will be now taking the second part where we'll be trying to solve the problem using PySpark SQL, right? So I'll just copy paste here. I'm not writing this code in front of this video because it is going to take a lot of time. We do not have that much patience to go through it, right? If I'm going to write it here, just to save the time, I have already done this exercise before, right? So now here, yes, it's a simple print statement that I have written. And now what we are trying to do here, similarly, we are going to break it down into pieces and we are going to see how we can achieve the final result, right? So generally we are trying to rank the salary, right? Employees. We are basically trying to add one more column here in the source data, right? Based on the grouping based on the department ID and order by salary descending. Like if you see here, right, we have in this data, right, we have what we have, right? So we have salary and we have name and department ID. Department ID, we can group it based on the department ID, so that we'll be joining based on this, right? We have ID here as the common column, ID and department ID. Based on this two, we'll be joining, right, these two tables. So we're just trying to add one more field here just to understand, okay, how we can group it and how we can order the data. And basically we need to give a sequence number in order to achieve this problem, right? For that we are using dense rank, right? Using dense rank. Dense rank is a function, right? Spark SQL function. It is available in all other relational database as well. So here we are doing a dense rank over partition by is equivalent to our group by, right? We are doing a partition by department ID. If you see, we are just going to do a partition by department ID now. And order by salary descending, right? So we are just going to order by salary descending here based on this one, right? Salary, we are going to order by descending. So now once we run this one, we'll see like what output we are getting on this one, right? And finally we'll get the final output. But let's run this one first, then we'll try to understand, right? Let me copy paste and take it to outside so that we can have a proper visualization on that, right? So it is difficult for us to read the data here, right? So I'll just take it to notepad now. So now if you see, so what we are trying to, this is our source data, right? These two tables we are trying to join, right? Let's focus on this one now, like what we have tried to done on this part, right? So we basically have added one new more column, right? Where we are basically trying to rank it based on the salary descending grouping by the department ID. So here is the, if you see here, right, we have just grouped it based on the department ID here and ranked the salary in a descending order, like the highest salary will be in the top, right? If you see for department 1 we have 4 records, and 5 we have used dense rank here instead of a rank, right? Hope you know, like if you are using a rank here, right, for a same sequence number, right, if a value is repeating in that column, right, a rank will skip one sequence number there, which we do not want to do that. So in order to avoid that issue using rank, we are using dense rank here, so that, right, we'll be able to group by and get a proper ranking, right? So now if you see, based on the salary, we have got a ranking because we need top 3 salaries, right, in that particular group. Here it is one group, the second page is another group, right? So now if you see 1 2 here, 1 2 3 4, but if you have used, right, what would have happened, you know, if you have used rank, there the number we have got 1 2 2, right? Here we have got 3, right? We could have got 4 here, 5 here. Similarly, the sequence will get skipped and the output will come wrong. That's the reason we have taken dense rank, and we have simply, the main reason we are just trying to add one more column where we will be ranking the salary based on the descending order and group by our department ID. So this part we have done. Okay. So finally, what output we need is, right? Let's go to the query now again. So same thing we have done it in the second query. This is the first query's output that I was showing you. Now this is the second query's output. Like this we could have not done. Just to break down this process, I have just shown that, so that we'll have a clear understanding. Okay, this is how it is ranked, and based on the ranking we are going to, so what we are going to do, basically we are just going to take those records where the salary rank is less than 3, so that we'll get these 4 records here and these 2 records for this Henry, right? So here if you see, we're just going to pick those records where salary rank is less than 3, so that we'll get less than or equal to 3, so that we'll get this one, these 2 records will get, and this record will get, right? So this is what we have got it, right? So let's go to the query. So the same query, we are taking it as an inner query, and we are just picking those fields whichever is needed as per our output, right? For departments table, we need the which department it is getting, because in the output you can see we need the department, right? Then we have the employees and salary, right? Then we have the employee and salary. Based on that, we are taking it from the respective tables, right? And we are just taking where we are just doing a join both of this table based on the department ID, as we know, right? We have the common column there, department ID, and this department ID and this ID is the common column. Based on that, we are doing a join, and we are just taking the column, I mean those records where the salary rank is less than 3, right? As we discussed here, we are just taking the salary. So this record will be ignored because it is coming on the 4th ranking, right? But we need only top 3 salaries in that department, top 3 unique salaries. Otherwise, it would have been like only these 3 records. But since we have mentioned in the question, right, it is mentioned that salary in the top 3 unique salaries. That's why we are just taking those 3 unique salaries. So that's how we have got the output here, right? If you see here, I have got the output, right? The same thing I have copied it there to the output just to understand it better, right? So from IT department, we have got these 3 employees where 85,000 is for both these two, and we have it IT for Wills, right? Which is the third high salary here. For sales department, Henry is having high salary, and Sam having the second high salary, right? So we have seen whatever we are expecting in the output, right? We have got the output using Spark SQL. Now we are just going to go through the DataFrame API style of writing the code, and we are expecting the same output here as well, right? So let me just copy this code and I'll just run it and explain it there. So just I'm going to create another one, right? So simply we are printing the statement, and here we have all the details of what is being used here. so that you can have a look. So now, so in the first, similarly in the SQL, whatever we have done, right? For SQL, so we are just trying to create a data frame here, right? With that ranking and answering function that we have used, right? So here the same thing that we are trying to achieve in the first step. Okay. So now let's try to understand this one. So we have taken the employee data frame, right? Whichever we have taken in the employee data frame, right? If you see, employee data frame is this one, right? And with column is a column. I mean, it's a data frame method or transformational call, which is used to add a new column to the data frame, right? So that way, since we need one more extra column, salary rank, we are using this functions to add this salary rank, column to this data frame, right? So, and we are doing a dense rank, the same thing that we have done in SQL, same dense rank function we are applying here. Over window is a PySpark window class here, right? And partition by divides the data into separate groups, right? Whatever we are doing it in using group by, and here we have done using partition by, right? The same thing is being done by here, partition by, right? So it functions the same way as group by works. Similarly, order by the salary column, the same thing that we have done there, same thing we are trying to do, order by salary, right? So our this data frame is ready, and we can see that. Let me run this one, right? Then we'll try to understand. Okay, it is running. It has given me both the outputs, but yeah, let's go one by one. I'll just copy from here. I take it with this one because we're just trying to understand it, right? So now if you see, we have done the similar way, whatever we have done as a part of the Spark SQL, right? We have done the same thing, and this is not required final output, right? But just to understand, right, how this dense rank works, it works the same way here as well, right? So as you can see, the similar thing that we are seeing there as well, right? So this part is mainly to get the employee salary with a ranked field attached to that with salary rank name, right? Got it? So now we are just trying to do the same join that we have done, right? Here is the condition that we have added, like where employees with salary DF, we are taking the department's ID, and from department data frame we are taking the ID, right? So based on these two fields, right, we are just going to join these two fields, right? With the ID and department ID, this two. Based on that, we are doing a join. So which condition we have written it here? I mean, we could write this condition here instead, directly, but that will create confusion. That's why I have taken it separately to write it, right? So you see, this is the join condition. So now what we are trying to do, join, right? So finally, we are trying to get the top 3 salaries by department data frame, right? So now if you see here, we are taking this department, with ranked DF, whichever we have created here. On top of that, we are filtering those fields where the salary rank is less than 3, and we are doing a join with the department's data frame, like which you have taken in top, the main data frame, right, that we have created. And this is the join condition, and we are doing a inner join, the same thing that we have done it here, right, in the SQL. We have just done an inner join. We have taken this condition, and this is the filter condition that we have added. Similarly, we are just doing the same thing here as well, right? This is the join part. Now finally we are selecting based on the output needed. So we are taking the name, and we are taking it from department data frame, from department table, because we are taking the department name, and from this data frame, right, we are just taking the name as alias employee, and here salary as alias salary. So finally we are going to print. So if you see here, we have got the final output here as well, right? The same output we have got it here as well. So we have seen, like in both the cases, we are getting the same output, and this is our expected output. And this is just to build our understanding on the dense rank function. We have added this step, or else if you can write directly, you can directly write that code, right? So now if you see, I'll just do a quick recap, right? So this one. So you have done it in 3 steps, right? So we have set up the data and we have seen the data is, we have got it, right? Then we have run the code using our PySpark SQL style, and we have seen like we have got the output, right? And finally, we tried using DataFrame API style coding, and we have seen like we have got the same output, right? Now, one thing is left, right? We are just trying to see, okay, this code is again working perfectly fine in our LeetCode or not, right? So we'll just go to LeetCode and see whether it is working here or not, right? So I'll just paste it. The question is same. Let's drop it a little down. I'm just going to run this one on SQL, right? Now you see it is working perfectly fine. So this concludes that whatever we have written the PySpark code, it is working fine here in a relational database as well. That means whatever we are learning in PySpark, it all aligns with the relational database concepts as well, but the platform that we're working is different. So we need to build understanding of how similar things can be done in PySpark, right? So slowly you can start thinking in that direction. And this is how generally interviewers expect you should write the code, right? Not even in this level of detail, but you should have this understanding and you should be able to explain, okay, how you are going to build the, the data frame, then how you build the temporary table, then how you query it, right? So you should have all those understanding, right? So I think we have seen like how we can do all this, and we have solved one more problem, which is the category of art. So we'll be seeing a few more examples going forward. So hope you all understood. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video, right? Thank you.